Good evening, brothers and sisters, and ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to another episode of Insight. We are thankful that you have tuned in with us, and we're thankful for you as an audience. Insight is a program that is designed to give us information from people in various forms of life. And as a result of that, we learn something from them, and they teach us something that we thought that we could never know. And so we're thankful to God for that. Now, before we press on, I just want to let everyone know, particularly the staff, is that the staff of Insight has been tremendous. Reverend Derek Jackson, Linda Atkinson Kendall, Asia Camp Jackson, and Niger Elizabeth Camp have been doing an outstanding job. So we're thankful to God for them. Now, let me just say this as we proceed to the night, but we won't proceed long. Bishop Stephanie Riddle, chairman of her deacon board, passed. And so as a result of that, she called me. She said it was a very hard one for her. And we do understand that. And certainly let us keep Bishop Riddle in our prayers. We're going to arrange for another date. We want this audience to know that we are, with the exception of July and August, in which we will not be on. We're booked from, certainly now, and then from September to December of this year. We have so many guests that we have on, and we're looking forward to that. But while we're doing that, let me just make these announcements. First of all, we do not own the rights to the music. The opening song is called Arabian Nights by Jimmy Jam. And then whenever we close out, we close with Expression by Helen Jane Long from the United Kingdom, who's a tremendous pianist. So we want you to know that. And then we want you to know, brothers and sisters, that this is news, and really, Bishop Waylon Hobbs, God bless him, has been elected to the mayor of Hempstead, Long Island. And so we congratulate Bishop Hobbs for that. And he is a friend of the Bethlehem Nation. And by being a friend of the Bethlehem Nation, he really brings it really great to us. And for the community of Hempstead, he has preached at Bethlehem on many occasions, and we have gone to Bethlehem. So congratulations to Bishop Waylon Hobbs, who will probably get on in around 2022. So please note that. Now, we have the schedule for the next couple of weeks, our future guest to be on next Wednesday. We will have Jennifer Jones Austin. And of course, Jennifer Jones Austin is CEO and Executive Director of Federation of Protestant Welfare Agencies. And she's the co-host of Open Line on WBLS 107.5 FM. And I believe that's on Sundays. So we're looking forward to Jennifer Jones Austin. She had spoke to the Bethlehem Nation. She has a book out called Joy, and we're going to talk to her about various things. As you know, last Wednesday, her aunt, the wonderful Sister Sylvia Harris, came on and gave us such an insightful moment in her own life and in her family's life. So her niece, Jennifer Jones Austin, who is a brilliant young lady. The following week after Jennifer Jones Austin will be Minister Kania Allen, Associate Minister of the Bethany Baptist Church in Jamaica, Queens. She will be our guest, and by her being of a younger, now I do want to make this clear. There are those of us who are older, but we're not old. So I want that to be clear. We're young, she just happens to be younger. How about that one? We're young, but she happens to be younger. So we're looking forward to Minister Kania Allen. And of course, the coming week on April the 7th, Reverend Adrian Reed, Senior Pastor of the New Jerusalem Baptist Church, Brentwood, New York, one of our young preachers. And, really looking forward to him and to hearing his take on ministry, life, and of course, the various things that we see. So I'm glad to have him on April the 7th. That will be Pastor Adrian Reed. Following that will be Pastor David Wright. I got a whole lot to talk to him about because he just loves the Knicks so much and think they're going all the way. And he got spanked the other night when the Brooklyn Nets took him down. And so we're going to be talking about music. We're going to talk about his father's legacy. So we're looking forward to Pastor David Wright, the senior pastor of New Grace Tabernacle Christian Center, that his father, the late Reverend Timothy Wright, organized. So we want you to know that. And as a result of that, the following week after that will be Pastor Cynthia McCants, senior pastor of Cathedral at New Gethsemane East. Of course, her husband, Bishop Jason McCants, is a brother of ours. Cynthia McCants, Pastor Cynthia McCants, has always been a friend of ours, and she preached at the Bethlehem Nation as well as her husband, Bishop Jason McCants. And she is somebody's preacher, so we're looking to talk to her as it relates to this is a woman that can do it, managing your money, how to buy property and things of that nature. So she has connected herself with people. So we're looking forward to certainly Cynthia McCants. Now, I also want you to know, brothers and sisters, again, we will not be on in July, August. We will take a reprieve. But I do want to say that we will be doing things, working with the staff. We want to do some creative things. Now, I just want to, so that you can see the staff, if pictures can be put up for the staff so that you can know who they are, because I could not be able to do this thing effectively if I had not been surrounded by the staff of people that God has surrounded me with. Now, even though Insight is a host Larry Camp, this is the creative and artistic wing of the Bethlehem Nation. That should be made clear, that is part of the creative and artistic wing of the Bethlehem Nation, because I think it's important for us to be creative and to look to the future with additional things, and still acknowledging those traditions that we came up with, but also acknowledging the present that will also be traditional as time moves on. So I want to thank Reverend Derek Jackson for his input and being a tremendous technician with that. I want to thank Linda Atkinson Kendall, who has been very good with the correspondence as it relates to that. And then I want to thank Linda Atkinson Kendall, not only my administrative assistant, but she is a deacon in training. And then Asia Camp Jackson, who is a deaconess of our church. She helps with all the creativity as it relates to flyers and things of that nature. And Niger Camp, who has in real sense been the director as it relates to directing me, how I move my head, if I turn too much to the left or I turn too much to the right, that kind of thing. So all of them have been good. I do want to say, if there are people who watch Insight and you want to be a part of this staff, we want you to come, but we also want to be able to interview you, because we want you to have a dedication for this. Even though we have a staff that's with us, we should also be reminded that sometimes if we can create a staff that is kind of a backup, because there may be some weeks in which the staff that currently works, we want to be able to give them the kind of reprieve as well. And so for those four right now currently who are willing to join, we want you to be part of that. And we also want you to know that, as we have said at the Bethlehem Nation, that as we move forward, people can be a part of our church without joining, because the creativity that we need among our congregations that will impact the congregation and the community is very important. So please be advised that if you want to be a part of Insight and part of the staff, we would like to meet with you and we would like to interview you as well. And then I also want to say, brothers and sisters, as we move on, that please be advised of many of those who are recovering from pandemic situations, who are within it. Those of you who are taking shots we certainly pray for you. Now, the thing is that there are people who don't take shots and there are people who do. And I just think that you should be prayerful, cautious, and to do the necessary things that need to be done in your life. So I hope that you realize that. Now, Good Friday, brothers and sisters, is coming up. We have a very creative lineup. Reverend Philip McDowell of the South Hempstead Baptist Church will be with us, and we're thankful to God. He has a very good church and has done well. I preached there on a number of occasions and see how well he does that. And then Reverend Derek Jackson, our son in the ministry, we're going to put him right in the midst of all of them. Reverend Derek Jackson, he will preach as well. And then, of course, my sister, who I adore, the Reverend Patricia Reberg, of the senior pastor of the Church of Healing, Rejoice Ministries Church of Healing, from Harlem. And so we're looking forward to that. Then we want to be able to keep our creativity by having Minister Kenia Allen, who is Associate Minister of the Bethany Baptist Church, who will be our guest on Insight 2 days prior to that. And so we're looking forward to Minister Kenia Allen. And then a friend and brother, the Reverend Clive Neal. Reverend Clive Neal of the Bedford Central Presbyterian Church, tremendous church in terms of the people, in terms of the creativity, in terms of their reception to God's word and worship. Reverend Neal has been so creative that he even has a part for exercising that takes place. It's really, really great. And so that he is one of our preachers as well. The one person I'm introducing next that we hardly call each other by name, but we call each other namesake, the Reverend Lawrence Aker, who is a friend of mine, who has been a tremendous friend as well of the Cornerstone Baptist Church, to which they call Seastone Nation. And so we're looking forward to Reverend Aker being a part of this. So we try to do a creative task of people. And then the seventh word will be given to, she calls me uncle, so I call her niece, Pastor Tisha Dixon Williams, senior pastor of the First Baptist Church of Bridgehampton, and they call it Bridge Nation. And so we got two nations on the road joining in with us. So I hope, brothers and sisters, that you would know it's live and virtual. You can come in to the worship service. We will do all the procedures, mask and temperature taken and hands clean, come into the sanctuary. But then you will also be able to see it virtually as well. So Good Friday is going to be really, really creative. I love these various preachers. And even though, and this is where I made a difference because I think it's important, Good Friday sermons are generally and mostly done by pastors. But I decided to put two other people there. Kenia Allen came in 2019. Of course, we didn't have 7 Less Words last year. So she's an associate minister, but I also want her there so she can speak from her voice that will speak to young people and for seniors as well. And Reverend Derek Jackson, who's the co-pastor of the Bethlehem Nation, he will preach. And so we want to join that all in together to make it as creative as possible, rather than to do what I refer to as mundane things and just having your boys on, but to have everybody on, to spread it out and to make it creative. So we're looking forward to that on Good Friday. We're looking forward to having these creative people, and we're looking forward to you. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, again, please keep in your prayers Bishop Stephanie Riddle, my sister, who made such an apology, but I want her to know that all of us will be praying for her and her church, and certainly for the family of the chairman of the board. We're asking your prayers with them. We'll see you next week. God bless you and Godspeed. Be well.